Hello, I'm Jeff, and welcome to Snap Talk, your podcast supplement. So if you followed our videos for E3, you know that I had some issues with editing the Microsoft presentation. Something wasn't quite lining up between my audio and the captured video, and in addition, there was some issues with the other conferences. In particular, the Ubisoft conference was blocked due to some audio copyright that was in the presentation, and not knowing what would get flagged from either Microsoft or Bethesda, especially considering the live performance of Andrew WK, it seemed like a wiser choice to just give impressions from those two conferences as part of a wrap-up. So here we go. Microsoft had a solid presentation, probably the best of the big three considering Sony's odd presentation due to multiple settings and minutes of filler, as well as Nintendo dedicating a large portion of their Direct to Smash Bros. You obviously had the usual suspects of Halo, Forza, and Gears, as well as Crackdown 3 getting a release date and Sea of Thieves getting new content. There was also a surprise of Battletoads being announced, and the new Ori game was given a fun trailer. But because this is Microsoft, a lot of it was dedicated to third-party games. But that was still cool. Nier Automata was getting ported, a new Shonen Jump fighter was announced being called Jump Force, Cuphead is getting new content, Tunic looked awesome, and is being published by Finji, the guys that published Night in the Woods, and, of note for the guys, Tales of Vesperia is getting a definitive edition coming to all home consoles and PC via Steam. And while that was all nice, the most important thing was more business related and focused even farther in the future. Microsoft has added 5 new studios in order to bulk up their first-party lineup. First, they announced the creation of The Initiative, a new studio in Santa Monica led by Daryl Gallagher, the former head of Crystal Dynamics. And then, because they have Bill Gates' wallet, they acquired 4 other studios. These are State of Decay Dev Undead Labs, Playground Games, who helped make Forza Horizon, Ninja Theory, and Compulsion Games, the guys who are still working on their debut game, We Happy Few. While Compulsion Games was an odd purchase since they haven't really released a game yet, Ninja Theory could be the big coup for them. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was an award-winning game. If they can give them the freedom to make the games they want and keep them focused, this will be a major addition for the Xbox brand. I know some people are already comparing this to Rare. Just be patient and give it some time. We haven't even seen the fruits of this labor. The other big one was them doubling down on console gaming. Phil Spencer made sure to mention that they were working towards the next Xbox console at the end of the presentation. You know, before CD Projekt Red hacked in to show Cyberpunk 2077. Looked fine, by the way. Anyways, this, like the developer acquisitions, I think was the key to the presentation. Microsoft had been focusing a lot in the past few years on services like Game Pass, which is solid, and Xbox on Windows 10, which, while consumer-friendly, I have qualms about. Doing this, revealing that another console is coming later on, and adding first-party studios showed me that Microsoft was in this for the long haul. And that was bigger than any game they talked about all expo. And then there was Bethesda.
So, we're starting with a game that we announced a few weeks ago through our friends at Walmart Canada.
My name's Andrew WK, and we came to party!
Perhaps best known for their low prices and ability to keep a secret.
Are you ready to rage? I said, are you ready to rage?
You want to see hell on earth? Well, we just teased it.
What about you? You ready to rage?
Alexa, play Skyrim.
You're level 57 and see a tall snowy mountain.
Climate.
Are you ready to rage?
Because evidently, these online games are hard. They can have some nasty issues. I read on the internet that our games have had a few bugs.
That was a lot of fun, but in hindsight, there wasn't a lot of substance to it. You know how the Sony presentation was awful, but what they were showing off was good? This kind of had the opposite effect. The presentation rocked, sometimes literally, but other than Rage 2, Fallout 76, new Prey content, and the Elder Scrolls Blades, there wasn't a lot of content to the show. There were plenty of teases. The Elder Scrolls Legends is coming to consoles later. Doom Eternal is getting teased. To be revealed at QuakeCon. Wolfenstein is getting a VR game, as well as a game starring BJ's twin daughters. And we only got a teaser for the latter. Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 were given logos. And that's it. All this stuff is getting shown later. If you could sum it all up in a few words, it would be this. Bethesda was a tease. But with that said, this conference sets up nicely for next year. Wolfenstein Youngblood is set for 2019. Doom Eternal is probably coming after that, along with the VR game Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. Starfield is probably getting close to completion, and who knows how far along Elder Scrolls 6 could be. 2018 may have been a big tease. 2019 could be badass. Overall, E3 2018 was just kind of meh. It wasn't outright terrible. Plenty of surprises and surprise releases that happened. Unravel 2 getting unleashed on the world was one of EA's only highlights. Prey players got new DLC that night. Fallout Shelter came to consoles. A trio of games were added to Xbox Game Pass. And Hollow Knight, Fortnite, and Paladins all released on the 12th for Switch, with the Splatoon 2 Octo expansion releasing the next day. But it felt like there was a lot of things getting shown again. There was almost nothing Square Enix showed that wasn't shown somewhere else, and sometimes better. Nintendo's presentation equally felt wanting and bloated with so much dedication to Smash Ultimate. Sony only had a couple new things and tried to cover that up with spectacle. And then there was EA, which was saved from the bottom barrel status by Square Enix, whatever that was. And it wraps up nicely in a little theme called, What's the Point? For instance, what was the point of not having any updates on Yoshi, Metroid Prime 4, and Bayonetta 3? Just something where they said they were making progress would have been nice. What was the point of teasing 2 Wolfenstein games when you only had a CG trailer for one of them? I get why Doom wasn't shown, you were trying to hype your own con. What was the point of having Shigeru Miyamoto at the Ubisoft conference if it was only going to be around for 30 seconds? What was the point of interviewing the Star Wars dev in the crowd if he didn't really have anything to say? What was the point of having only 4 minutes of Anthem footage to use in the background if you have a 12-minute long discussion? What was the point of putting everyone in a church tent? Okay, I get that one, but what was the point of having a show with 2 different settings? What was the point of having a producer if production was going to suck this bad?
Well, thank you, Tim.
And thank you for making the time tonight to come to church.
This?
What was the point of having a black screen for this guy when you could have had something cool going on, like a sketch being drawn of the scene you were about to show? What was the point of dedicating 25 minutes to Smash when the only part that people ever care about is who is on the roster? What was the point of the UEFA Cup? What was the point of having nothing crazy going on when Andrew WK was playing for Bethesda? What was the point of Ubisoft using the same trailer for the Division 2 that they did for the reveal of the Division 1? What was the point of this?
How you doing?
I've been good. You still recovering from that butt whooping?
How has it been? You know, your success and your path, you know, to where you're at today.
It's
So the key to be the #1 player in Madden is to hurt your arm in baseball. That's #1.
I hate losing way more than I love winning.
Shut your mouth, you miserable piece of human garbage! Shit! Let's get this nonsense started.
Guys, do me a favor. When you do your presentations at next E3, step your game up. Because at this point, Devolver is doing laps around you. I need a way to end this. Hey, Pete Hines, do you got any suggestions?
Bring the message of fuck Nazis to every platform possible.
Well, I can't really argue with that. And that is it for this episode of Snap Talk. If you liked what you saw, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you can be aware of all new videos. If you have a different opinion to what was stated, feel free to comment down below and we can talk about it. If you have an idea for another Snap Talk, leave a suggestion below. And if I can feel I can get enough material together, I may talk about it in a future episode. I'm Jeff from Some Nerdy Arguments, and that was E3.
I've been to the future's future.